Am I the a-hole for my reaction to finding out my wife's pregnant with twins? 37 million. My wife, Julie, 35 feet, and I have two sons together, 5 million and 3 million. We're solid financially, but we both have intense jobs. I work 60-ish hours a week. I already felt spread too thin with our sons and jobs. And I also want to make sure I can pay for my boys to go to private school and college. I didn't have much financial support growing up and didn't want my kids to worry about money like I did. It all felt more doable with two kids, but Julie has always wanted three kids. She actually told me this when we first met in college before we were even dating. She's an only child, and so I think she likes the idea of a big family and her kids having siblings to play with. About a year ago, Julie raised the idea of trying for a third. With everything going on, I tried to convince her that two was the right number for our family, but it still meant a lot for Julie to have three. I did tell her I'd have three kids before we got married, and so I was ultimately willing to try for another after a lot of conversations. Julie, to her credit, left her job at a firm to do government work, which reduced her salary, but gives her more time to be there for the kids. Julie is now 3 months pregnant. We had an appointment yesterday and found out we're having twins. Both of us were shocked. I honestly wanted to scream, but she seemed thrilled. When we got into the car, Julie said I looked like I was going to cry. I expressed that I'm terrified and I genuinely don't know how I'm going to manage four kids. Three was already a stretch, and doubling our amount of children is very overwhelming. I told her that I feel like I should leave my job and find something less time-consuming, but I'd feel like a failure because I don't know if I'll be able to provide the life I always envisioned giving to my kids, i.e., private school, college paid for. I basically am in a position where I feel like I need to choose between making sure my kids are financially solid or having close relationships with each of them. Julie said we'd figure it out, and I told her I just needed some time to think. She kept trying to talk through it with me right then, even though I told her to give me a minute. Julie then asked if I was a little bit excited, and I snapped and said no. Julie got teary, said I was being a dick, and asked how I couldn't be excited about our children. She said she's overwhelmed too, and that I hadn't even asked how she felt. I pointed out that she was the one who wanted to grow our family and had zero reservations about three, and so I didn't realize she was overwhelmed about the twins. Julie started crying and said I was being a jerk. She's been upset ever since and is staying away from me. I do think I was harsh in the moment and have tried to apologize and express that I want to support her in this, but I do think it was fair for me to be stressed in the moment under the circumstances, and I wish she could also see where I'm coming from. AITA,